Hey, fourth grade, it's Mrs. Johnson here. Hope it's going well and get ready to keep learning today. So we have been learning about figurative language. I'm going to write that up at the top of my paper. Figurative language. And figurative language is a way to kind of make our language colorful when we're writing. But good readers need to learn how to kind of identify figurative language when they read it and then kind of interpret it. So instead of just being able to read, so today we're going to read a story and we're going to find examples of figurative language, and then we're going to interpret it or figure out what the author is actually saying. So what I want you to do is first read this whole article yourself and then look for examples of figurative language. So figurative language is similes or metaphors, personification, alliteration. So go ahead and do that now, and then come back when you're ready, press play and see if you found some examples that I found as well. And I might not find every example, so you might have found some that I didn't find. So go ahead, read the article and look for examples of figurative language, and then decide what they mean. All right, hopefully you've read this article. We're going to go through and read through the article, or read through the story, I should say, and then find some examples of figurative language. Now, I have a highlighter. I'm going to highlight my examples of figurative language, and then I'm going to write with my pen what those examples mean. All right, here we go. A chipmunk twitched his tail as he lay hidden deep under the fallen leaves. It was cold outside. Wintertime was approaching, but he was snug in his den in the woods, tucked underground beneath a fallen log and covered by a crunchy carpet of faded autumn leaves. So right there, twitched his tail, crunchy carpet. Could say covered by a crunchy carpet. Those are examples of alliteration. They use T's here and C's here. And faded autumn leaves, that's a good word too. Charlie had a stash of acorns and nuts ready to eat over the long winter months, and a cozy place to snooze most of the days. What Charlie didn't have, however, was a mate. He had left his family nest earlier in the year since he had become an adult. All summer he had been on the lookout for a girlfriend, so they could start their own chipmunk family. But summer had come and gone, and Charlie had not met the right mate. He had introduced himself to a few females, but they had paired up with some other fellows, leaving Charlie wishing he was maybe a little bigger, or stronger, or had prettier stripes along his back to attract them. His mother had always said that what Charlie might lack in size or looks, he made up for with a good sense of humor and a kind heart. That might be so, but that didn't seem to matter to the ladies, thought Charlie with a sigh. So, poor Charlie's looking for a girlfriend. I didn't really see any examples in here, but can chipmunks really talk? No. So they're kind of personifying this chipmunk, and they're making it by making it talk. He settled down to take another nap. Above ground, there was some scratching. Small clumps of dirt began to fall on Charlie's head. He opened his eyes and looked to see what was happening. With a squeak and a thump, a shower of debris and a startled chipmunk fell from above and landed beside Charlie. Right here, a shower of debris fell from above. So this means, can debris really shower like a human takes a shower? No, this just means that it fell down. Kind of like how a shower pours water down. Oof, groaned the small creature. She stood up and shook the dirt out of her fur. She inspected her tail for damage. Finally, she noticed Charlie. Oh, hello, she smiled. Excuse me. Charlie wasn't sure if he was angry or amused. There's some alliteration. Are you okay? How nice of you to drop in like this. Now, there's kind of a pun because she fell in, and he's talking about drop in, which is a famous term for saying to visit. The chipmunk began to laugh. It sounded like the chirping of baby birds. Charlie was charmed by it. So right here is an example. This is a simile. So right here, it sounded like the chirping of baby birds. It compares the chipmunk's laugh to the chirping of baby birds. So it must be a pretty nice laugh. Charlie was charmed by it. Again, alliteration. How funny you are. Yes, I seem to be fine. I am a bit clumsy. My family is always telling me so. They call me Clumsy Connie. Alliteration. That's me. Not clumsy, just Connie. More alliteration. Well, I am clumsy, but my name, it's just Connie. Hold on. She took a breath and started over. Hi, I'm Connie. Nice to meet you. She grinned and reached out her little black paw. Charlie took it and held it. It was warm and soft. They shook hands, and Charlie reluctantly let hers go. Reluctantly means like he didn't want to let her hand go. What are you doing here? He asked. I was foraging for food. More alliteration. I thought I could smell some nuts under that fallen log. I wondered if I'd buried some and forgotten about them. I'm always doing that. So I started digging in. Ta-da! Here I am, an unexpected visitor in your lovely home. Well, it could use a little tidying up, to be honest, but that might be my fault. She laughed again. Charlie gazed into her bright black eyes and smiled. More alliteration. Well, you might be unexpected, but you are certainly welcome. That fall must have upset you. Can I offer you a snack? He scurried into his storeroom and came back with a couple of peanuts. He offered one to Connie. They talked for a long time. Finally, Connie stood up and got ready to go. Thank you so much, Charlie. You treated me kindly when I crashed through your roof. Let me at least help you clean up. She picked up the small branch Charlie used for a broom and began sweeping up the dirt and leaves. Charlie gathered up the empty peanut shells. Together they tidied up the little burrow and fixed the hole in the roof Connie had made when she fell. We work well together, don't we? Charlie asked her when they were done. It seems that we do, she agreed, meeting his warm gaze with her own. Now, can your gaze or your look be warm? No, it can't be warm. So this is personification, and it just means like a nice gaze. Friendly. Comforting, maybe even. Comforting. That's what gaze means, or warm means. Perhaps we could work together all the time, Charlie suggested. His heart was beating like a hammer in his chest. There's another simile. So his heart was beating like a little hammer in his chest. So it's talking about how his heart was beating like a hammer. Oops, I crossed it out a little bit. She twitched her ears, thinking for a long while. Then she smiled. Perhaps we could, replied Connie. What a cool story. So you can see there's lots of examples of different kinds of figurative language in this passage. Oh, that's my backside. Yours is front to back. So you can see all my highlighted parts. A lot of alliteration, a couple examples of similes, some personification too, and even a pun. Awesome. Well, good job, fourth grade. Get out there and keep learning. And remember, looking for figurative language. It's what good readers do, and they use it in their writing as well. See you later.